everybody. Randy Patterson here with Boomerocity, and I have another fun episode for you this time. If you grew up with the music of Michael Jackson, I know I did, the Jackson 5, and then Michael's solo albums when he was much younger, and then, of course, his magnificent solo career. The songs, the moves, the moments. I remember when he first did the moonwalk on live TV, man, it blew my mind. If you were part of all of that, then you already know how powerful his legacy is. And in this episode, I'm joined by Treston Henderson, one of the incredible performers from MJ the Musical. You may have heard about it. It's a phenomenal Broadway show, and it's coming to my neck of the woods. And it's a show that doesn't just celebrate the music of Michael Jackson, but it captures the discipline and the creativity and the drive behind him. And to watch him perform, you know he had to have just tremendous focus and intensity and dedication to his craft, and it showed in his performances. I'm interviewing Treston because, like I said, the show's coming to my neck of the woods, and I just thought it'd be a great idea, since it's probably in all likelihood coming to a town near you. I thought I'd go ahead and interview Treston, since he was available for interviews, and I plan on catching the show when it hits my neck of the woods. And I thought it'd be a fun interview, and boy, I was right. He was a great guy to talk to. In this episode, we talk about what it's like stepping into that world of Michael Jackson and performing that world, if you will, night after night. I think he said there's something like 8 performances a week that they do whenever they come to a town. And the responsibility he feels in honoring a legend. He plays Jackie Jackson in the show. And so he does his part in honoring the legacy, the legend, and he shares what audiences, especially those of us who lived through the Michael Jackson era, what he thinks audiences will take away from the experience of seeing the show. So anyway, it's very informative, a lot of fun. He's from the greater Knoxville, Tennessee area, so we talk about that and his upbringing here in this area. And a super, super nice guy. You're really going to love this guy's spirit, the vibe that he puts out. And so this interview is well worth your time, and I think it'd be a good one to share with your friends who love Broadway shows, who loved Michael Jackson or the Jackson family. Any of those kinds of people are going to love this interview. And as always, I always ask that you hit like and subscribe if you like the interview, and if you're not already a subscriber. So please do that. It helped me out a lot, or actually helps Boomerocity out a lot. Any money we make, we just pour right back into the production of it all. So like it, subscribe, share, and enjoy the chat. Until next time, this is Randy Patterson with Boomerocity. Take care. Hello, Treston.
Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good, but you're sideways.
Oh, I am sideways. Okay, let me see if I can. Uh-oh.
Now that's much better.
This is much better. Okay, there we go. Oh my, there it is. I was trying to get you up, and there it is, so I can see you. There it is.
All righty, good deal. Good deal. Well, thank you for joining me. Where are you clicking in?
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me.
I've been looking forward to this because, I guess it's been a couple years ago, I actually got to interview Tito Jackson.
No way.
Yeah, and since, of course, he has since passed away I think earlier this year.
Right,
and such a nice guy. Really, I thoroughly loved talking with him, and I was so sad when he passed away. But so consequently, when I saw MJ was coming to town, I wanted to see if I could get something like this set up, and you were kind enough to agree to it, and we're rocking and rolling now. So I understand you're from the Knoxville area. Is that correct?
Yeah, I am. I'm from Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. So right around the corner.
Wow. Did you grow up there, or what's the story?
Yeah, so I grew up there actually. When I was in elementary school, I actually went to Carnes for a bit. But I ended up going to Woodland and Glenwood. So yeah, and then I went to Jefferson Middle School and Oak Ridge High School. So
Gotcha.
yep. So I've lived there all my life.
Were you involved in the arts in high school or any of that?
Yes. So I did Masters at Oak Ridge, ORHS. It was mistakes. ORHS Masters. Yeah, yeah. I did that my sophomore year, in my
Oh,
junior year. So, and I
very
was
cool.
involved my senior year. I just danced with the dance company my senior year, so I wasn't able to
Gotcha.
do the high school production.
See. Wow. How do you feel? Well, obviously this influenced you to get to where you are today, but how do you feel those classes prepared you for where you're at now, as well as just life in general? Because I know for me, when I was in high school, I was born in Maryville, but I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, and so I was involved in concert choir and
Oh
a
yeah.
guitar class, and so I can't point to anything other than my love for music of how it affects me today. But I know being involved in anything that develops our talents is always a good thing. How do you feel like it prepared you for life in general when you were involved in those classes and groups?
It prepared me for life in general. With I mean taking like accountability, discipline.
Hmm.
Growing up, like I had to be on time. Dana Wom, she was our director. She always said, if you're on time, you're late. So it was
Lombardi
like,
time, yeah.
exactly. So discipline and also confidence. Because growing up, you're like sing. I was constantly singing in church and things like that, but singing in front of thousands of people was like, oh gosh. But that allowed me to break that, barrier that I had up, that wall that I had up, and yeah. So I would say confidence and discipline were two of the big things that high school drama club helped me with.
It's interesting how so many artists, um, especially in the entertainment industry, especially in music, huge percentage point back to involvement in church. And first of all, what church or churches did you go to growing up here, and how did that part of it? How is that affecting your life today?
Yeah, I actually went to True Light Missionary Baptist Church. It's on George Light Road. So
Hmm.
I went there, and how did that shape me as well?
Yeah.
So growing up in church, I that's where I learned the foundation of singing. I sang before I could talk. um, so so yeah, so growing up in church gave me that was my first performing opportunities. And I didn't know that it was quote unquote performing at that time. I just knew I was singing in a choir.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would say that shaped me that way. It gave me my voice.
I would imagine music has gotten you through some tough times too. Is that
Yes.
a safe assumption? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I listen to music all the time. I sing when I can't talk. I mean, it's like my life is like a musical, actually.
Well, that works nicely for you in this particular
Right.
case, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So, for those who haven't seen MJ the musical yet, and I have not, I'm looking forward to seeing it when you guys come
Oh,
here.
yes.
How would you describe the show's energy and what makes it stand out, this particular production stand out from any of the other stage tributes to Michael Jackson?
Yes. So this particular production is a Tony Award winning production first.
Right, right.
And it's electric from the beginning. Not only is it like it's not an impersonation of Michael Jackson, we are like really telling his story of building the Dangerous Tour and the success of that, and what separates it from um, other shows is that from the beginning, where you kind of see us on stage preparing for the show. I'm going to tell a little secret. Preparing for the show, as you walk in, you're walking into the rehearsal room where we're stretching, where we're warming up our vocals and things like that. So you get to see what it really feels like to be a part of a Michael Jackson rehearsal studio.
Very cool. How did you first get involved with this musical, and what was the audition selection process like for you?
Yeah, so I first got involved with this musical when it first went to Broadway. I auditioned for it. I heard about it. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I want to, see if I can get in for this. I auditioned for it, but at that time, it just wasn't for me. And then the tour came around, and I auditioned for that. And that was back in The Broadway one was in 2022, I believe, or 2023 when I first auditioned, and then I auditioned again in 2024 for the tour, and I didn't get it that time, but it just wasn't for me then. And then I auditioned again, and I finally booked, which was in June of this year.
Very cool. Now,
So
which part do you play in the musical?
yeah, so I played Jackie Jackson.
I
So
see.
I played
What did you have
his
to
oldest
do?
brother.
Yeah, Jackie's the man.
That's
Where,
right.
what, uh, what did you have to do? I mean, since I haven't seen
Yeah.
the show yet, it may
Okay.
not
Yeah.
be a highly intelligent question here, but
All good. I can tell
did
you.
you have to study him a lot in order to get into this role and get the feel of it, or was there, because of how this role was written,
Mhm.
did that play a part in it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, great. So, with the audition process, so basically we get a packet and it's lines like the script of the show, basically. And let's say there are like four scenes that they would like for you to read. So I had Jermaine scenes, I had Jackie scenes, I had Tito scenes, and then I also had Barry Gordy scenes because Barry Gordy also plays a part of this show.
Right.
Um, So I went in and I did every one of those last scenes. On my own, I did research, on those characters because I wanted to know how they moved, how they gestured, and how I could add myself to that character. So I think they gave me the packet and then they gave me, let's see, how many songs did I sing? I think I sang like 4 or 5 songs as well in that audition. And so after that, they're like, okay, so we think you might fit better for the role of Jackie because in our production, Jackie dances, but he's also, he also acts a lot in scenes. So he covers Barry Gordy and he covers Tito, and Quincy Jones. So he has to have a little more of the acting chops rather than more of the dance, chops.
Ah,
So he's
okay.
like, okay, so
Yeah.
we feel like Jackie would be better for you in that way. So that's how they determine.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's how they determine that.
What's it like portraying a character like that? I mean, I'm 66 years old, so I grew up when the Jackson Five and the Osmond brothers were the two big
Yeah.
real family musical acts. I mean, we had the Partridge Family, but that was a TV thing. But
Yeah.
but both of those brother groups were just phenomenal.
Right.
And when I got to talk to Tito, like I told you, I was just like blown away that I got to talk to one of the Jackson Five.
Yeah.
And so cool. What is it like for you? And I'm going to guess, you're obviously young enough to where maybe that era isn't as impactful or doesn't impact you the same way as it does my generation. But either way, you knew who he was. You knew the family.
Right.
Obviously, Michael. What's it like playing a character like Jackie and that's so iconic and so complex as the whole family was?
Yeah. Honestly, and also because he's still alive, sometimes it's a little scary. You know? Because I'm like, I never want to make a mockery of someone or like, or like me,
Right.
I portray him and he's like, that's not who I am or that's not how I act. So you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so sometimes it's a little scary, but they prepare us so much to do it, and also they let us know that we don't have to act just like them. We are just telling their story, so
Right.
that
Right.
kind of eases some of the pain of like, who I have to be perfect, I have to walk like he did, or because we're just honoring them, and
Right.
at the highest point. So it actually feels good after being scared. It feels good. It's like, wow. And people come up to me after the show and they're like, wow, I met Jackie or I met this. And I'm like, that's crazy, because I haven't been able to meet him yet. So I'm like, it's so cool to do it every night. It's really an honor.
Have you met any of the Jacksons, or have any of them given you through a message or something any kind of personal feedback with your
Me
involvement in the production? Yeah.
Me personally, I have not met any of the Jacksons, or gotten like a video or anything like that. But recently, well, not recently, at the beginning of the tour, they did. come out and meet, the cast and things like that. So the original company was able to meet them and all of that. But I have met Rich and Tone, which are two of Michael Jackson's dancers. So
Right.
they come out to the tour a lot. So I've met them, which is really cool.
Wow. Wow. Well, that speaking of the dancing, the choreography is, I mean, watching Michael by
Yeah.
himself in the videos, I mean, he always blew me away. And of course, I was watching the awards show when he did that phenomenal performance. And first time I saw moonwalking, and I was like, this
Yeah.
is otherworldly. It was
Right.
just phenomenal. It, I would imagine from what I've seen in the trailers of the production that you're in, I mean, the dancing is intense. How do you prepare physically and mentally for for that in general and for each performance? Because I know you got to be on top of your game before you step out on that stage.
Yes, absolutely. So I go to the gym about 3 or 4 times a week
Mm.
to maintain, my body.
Mm-hmm.
I also try to eat well, and also just stretching and like going to physical therapy. We travel with a physical therapist.
Mm.
So I go to physical therapy and just try to take care of my body the best I can, because we do the show 8 times a week. So
Wow.
yeah. So we're always in, physical therapy, stretching, eating correctly, and going to the gym. And also
Very
like
good.
our body kind of gets used to doing it every day, So like if I hear something, my body automatically just starts to dance to it because I I do it every day.
That muscle
Um,
memory there. Yeah.
exactly. A lot of muscle memory.
What has been the most challenging and the most rewarding part of performing Jackie as well as performing in the production in general?
Yeah. The most challenging part of playing Jackie was finding a way to add, myself to the character as well as not removing Jackie. As keeping it as real as Jackie was. He doesn't have a huge, part in the musical. It's mainly when he's Jackson 5, younger Jackie. So you see them as children. That was challenging trying to find like the child, how it was with his dad. How was his connection with his dad? Compared to Michael's connection. So that was a little challenging, but the rewarding part of that is that me and the director Chris, we found it. We found what that character was, and the audience, I think they like it. They take to the show very well. So that's very rewarding. The most challenging part of the show, I think, for me is stamina. Um, like, because once we start the show, once you see the show in Knoxville, we go from the beginning to the end, and it's hit after hit after hit after hit. And if you know Michael Jackson, every number dances.
Yep.
So we dance everything. The scene changes dance. Um, like we are just constantly moving things. If we're not moving things on stage, we're moving things backstage. We're changing costumes. We're, changing wigs and things like that. And then the rewarding part of that is seeing the audience stand up at the end and just, they're crying or they're, just really happy. You see little children that have Michael Jackson costumes on, the hat, the blue shirt and things like that. The sparkly jackets and gloves. So that's very rewarding after, all the hard work you've done. You have brought
Yeah.
someone, out of reality for 2.5 hours. They have come to the theater to remove themselves from the world for 2.5 hours. And we were able to do that,
Very
like, so
cool.
that is really rewarding.
I imagine there's a lot of those kids and you know young adults that come to these shows and they almost kind of put themselves in your shoes. And I wonder when you were growing up here in Knoxville. I'm actually in Sevierville, but here
Okay.
in Knoxville. Um, were you ever in the Tennessee Theater where this, I think is Tennessee Theater, or is it the
Yeah. Yes.
Civic? Okay.
It's the Tennessee.
So were you, yeah, were you ever, I love that theater, by the way, beautiful. But
It is.
Were you ever there as a kid thinking, man, I'd like to be up on the stage and doing some stuff? Yeah.
Yes, I actually saw my first now my first Broadway tour at that theater.
Wow.
I sat in like one of the last seats in the back of the theater. And I believe the show was Kinky Boots, and I went with my dance teacher, her daughter, and another and another dancer
Wow.
at the studio. And I got to meet some of the actors backstage, and I was like, I want to do this. Like, I want to do this now, you know. And so it's gonna be such an honor walking into that theater. I don't know if you know the Bijou Theater, which is across the
Yeah.
street from.
Just, yeah,
Yeah,
down the
yeah,
street
right,
a little bit there. Yeah.
right, yeah, right down the street on the right. So I actually did the Bijou Awards for 2 years in high school.
Wow. Wow.
So I got to do that because of the productions of Guys and Dolls and Oliver at Oak Ridge High School. So I
Oh,
performed
cool.
there, which is right down the street. So it's gonna be that street is just gonna be so home. You feel so at home.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. And I
what's
love
up?
both venues. They're both historic theaters, and
Yes.
I've seen so many shows, been backstage a bunch of times, all that,
Yeah.
and it's just so, it sounds kind of hokey, and I guess it kind of is,
No.
but in a way, musically, it's kind of like a home for me because of
Yes.
all the artists I've got to see there. And I
Yeah.
wasn't even raised here, so I can imagine what this is like for you.
Yeah. And that's all my family's coming. And Oak Ridge, the high school, they're bringing 75 students to one of the
Whoa.
shows. I know, like I just and like I remember growing up at Oak Ridge, and they took us to New York to see Nick Sullivan, and he was in a Broadway show. And so
Wow.
now like they're coming to see me. You know, it's just like a full circle moment. I get teary eyed
Man,
when I think about
I
it.
can imagine. I mean, good
Yeah.
Lord, it's just, to be able to bring things full circle and know that how you were influenced when you were in their shoes, that can inspire, just like we were talking about how things affect us in life from way back to where we are today. You get to do that now.
Exactly.
And that's so cool. I think that's
Right.
amazing.
It really
Mike,
is.
Michael Jackson influenced generations of performers, as you know, because you were influenced by him. How has his music and his artistry personally impacted you? I mean, did you see
Yeah.
it? Did you follow him as a kid, or tell me about that?
Yeah. So I actually love Jackson 5.
Yeah.
Like I always tell everybody, I'm like, so was I a Michael Jackson fan? Yes. But I love Jackson 5. Like Little Michael is like, so in the show we have Little Michael, Middle Michael, and Older Michael. And
Hmm.
so my favorite, I'm like, Little Michael is my favorite. But it is just because like I think I'm like a boy group. I love boy groups, you know. And Jackson 5 was like one of the most iconic, you know. I sang Who's Loving You in my middle school talent show, you know. So it's just, again, full circle moment. And Michael Jackson changed my life because I'm touring with it, doing a Broadway musical. Doing like, I'm like,
Yep.
he's really changed my life. So,
It killed me how high his voice was then. I mean,
yes,
it's almost like he could break glass with it or something. I mean, it
right,
was
truly.
just, I mean, I couldn't even fake it. I couldn't falsetto it, nothing. I mean, I just had to listen. I couldn't sing along with it unless I wanted to do the bass part or something, but
Right,
he
right.
was just phenomenal. When you're performing these songs live, do you ever find yourself connecting with the message or the emotions of the
Mhm.
song and either in some sort of new way, I guess?
Yeah. Yes, like Man in the Mirror, I
Oh
connected that
man, one of
song.
my favorites.
I connected that song differently every single night. You know,
Really?
just depending on how the day was, depending on what
Yeah.
the week was like, what's going on, you know, because truly I'm starting with me. It starts with yourself. You know, if I can
Hmm.
change myself, I can look at myself and be proud and happy of that or whatever, I can go and bring that into the world, you know.
Yep.
Um, and so after, I'll give you a little spoiler. That's like one of the last songs we sing in the show. So after doing everything, you know, and having your entire day, you're like, let me reset with Man in the Mirror, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, I Man in the Mirror is the song that I reflect with the most or feel the most.
Do you guys do Dirty Diana on it?
No, we don't do Dirty
Oh
Diana
man.
on this one. I know, right? Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. That's one of my favorites too.
Yep.
But no,
I
not this,
love the
not this
grind
one.
to it, you know.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
But you know, I just happened to remember. I'm surprised I didn't think of this when I was mentioning Tito. I have had the privilege of interviewing Orianthi, who was the guitarist, was going to
Yeah.
be the guitarist for the final tour, and
Wow.
she, I mean, she's amazing. You know, she was doing those guitar works and taking over the Eddie Van Halen bit for the Beat
Yeah.
It and all that stuff. And
Right, right.
so there's two people I got to
So
interview that were
you're close to Michael
connected to it.
Jackson yourself.
That's right. I just won't even begin to attempt a moonwalk, though. I'd probably hurt myself
No,
at
we
my
have to
age.
get you. We have to get you to moonwalk. We have to get you to do it.
If you can teach me to do that, I'd be forever grateful.
Let's
So,
do it.
is there a favorite Jackson song you like to do?
Ooh, let's see. My right now is "Blame It on the Boogie."
Ah, yeah,
Yeah, "Blame It on the Boogie" is one of my favorite Jackson songs to do.
very good.
Um, it's yeah, that's a favorite one.
What's the camaraderie like amongst the whole troupe?
We love each other. We are all tight. On stage, we're professional, but we are laughing and having a good time. Yeah, we're the best of buds. Everyone.
Very good,
We're
very good.
always together. I mean, we're always together. We have to be, but we're always
Yeah.
together. We're eating dinner together. And yeah, so it's great. Dynamic's
Oh,
great.
nice. Anything funny or touching behind the scenes stuff that you're free to share, as
Yeah,
far as moments that fans might enjoy hearing about?
let's see, let's see. Funny moments that fans might like hearing about. Ooh, that's spicy because I'm like trying to think now. I'm like, what?
You can send me the video later. So,
Right, 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 exactly. I'm like, probably the amount of times we've like fallen running off stage,
oh
like
my,
to do like quick changes or something like that,
yeah,
or
yeah.
like yeah, because we have like we're at, and blaming on the boogie. We have these like platform heels that we wear, and so, and so I've like ran off the stage and tripped or like stumbled a couple times. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see.
Shoot.
See if
I
I stumble in
remember
those classes.
wearing those platform shoes
Yeah.
back in the 70s. So that was, yeah, I don't think I'd attempt that today.
See, and we're running in them. So I'm like,
Oh
oh.
my goodness. Wow. What, obviously we're talking about the legacy of the Jacksons. What do you think audiences of his generation, my generation, will feel when we see the show?
Nostalgia. You will
Mm.
feel you. I mean, you will feel. We're gonna take you back to his concert. It's gonna feel like you're at his concert. The way that we are able to transform the stage into like we go from the rehearsal studio to you're performing on stage. Like I've never seen anything like it. So you're gonna walk away singing the music, I mean, singing the songs, feeling the love again. I mean, grooving. You're probably going to turn on the album when you get in your
You get
car.
home.
We sing songs that you probably forget exist with Michael because of the other, top songs that he
Yeah.
has. So we sing a lot of the older stuff that like I said, that you may have forgotten about. So nostalgic. You will feel a lot of nostalgia.
No, I look forward to that. If I don't know if you've ever thought of this, but if you could share the stage with Michael Jackson for just one song, which
Oh,
one would it be and why?
oh, wow. Um, I'm gonna say "Man in the Mirror."
Mm.
And why? It's because I think Michael puts his all into that song every single time. And like everything just goes silent. You just hear that boom, doo, 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 and you're like,
Hmm.
uh-oh, we know what that is, and it gets really loud and then it gets silent, and it's just, I'm gonna make a change. What? Like, I'm gonna make a change are the first three words. Like that is just it's yeah. So that would be the song I would perform with him because it means so much to me, and how silent it gets and how impactful, like just the center spotlight is, singing songs about change. That would be that would be what I did.
That would be it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
dancing with him would be great, but like I feel like standing there and singing because Michael Jackson, he's everything he's been through,
Yeah.
and he's still saying, "I'm starting with myself," huh?
Yeah.
Like it's beautiful.
And we could all learn from that, couldn't we?
Exactly, exactly.
um how which song does the audiences seem to respond the most to during this production?
Ooh, I'm gonna say "Wannabe." "Wannabe" starting something.
Oh yeah.
They
A lot of
go,
dancing in the aisles, I bet.
yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
cool.
They go crazy every single night
I
for that
bet.
number. That or they
Wow.
don't really care about us. It's either one of the two. Those go neck to neck, but "Wannabe," I think it's "Wannabe" takes the win.
One more thing about the production that I want to circle back to something else. What
Yeah.
message do you hope fans, especially those who grew up listening to Michael Jackson in real time as he was coming out with the hits and buying the albums when they first came out, that kind of thing. What do you hope fans take away from the show when the final curtain drops there?
Yeah, that Michael Jackson was a loving human being, a soft human being who wanted world peace
Mm-hmm.
through and wanted to do it through his music. I think that because all of his music has a message. Every song has a message. So I
Yeah.
think that Michael Jackson. I personally think I want the audience to walk away knowing that the allegations, all that stuff, it was Michael Jackson was a loving, you know, soft, like I mean, soft but strong, but individual who just loved making music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
loved dancing.
Outside of the Michael or MJ the musical, and maybe you can't do this because there's so many, a lot of tour, more of the tour coming up, and this that kind of thing. Do you have any idea what's next for you? Any dream roles, projects, musical ambitions, anything like that?
Yeah.
In the future for you.
Yeah. In the future, I would love to be back on Broadway, in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Lion King has always been a dream of mine, playing
Oh
Simba.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always loved that role. Dreamgirls is my all-time favorite musical. So that's also going back to Broadway. I think in next June. So I would love to be a part of that if possible. I want to audition for it. So yeah, so Dreamgirls, Lion King, those are two big shows that I would love to be a part of
Very cool.
and work towards.
Well, what would you like to say to your hometown people here? What before we sign off here?
Yes. First, go balls. um, yes.
And
So
that's right. So,
yeah, first go balls. Second, I'm so excited to be coming back home. I've never performed other than in high school back in my hometown. So I'm so excited to be bringing this show to Knoxville. The last show that I was a part of was "Ain't Too Proud," and that actually came to Knoxville, but I had left. I think like 4 months before it came,
oh,
so I wasn't able to perform. So I'm officially I'm coming.
all
So
right.
be on the lookout for MJ the musical.
There you go. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, we can meet each other before or after
Yes.
the show, however that works out. And because I plan on being there, hopefully opening night. And
Okay.
so,
Yeah. Let me know. Shoot us an email, and I'll get in touch with you. That way we can
okay.
set something up.
All right, I'll go through the Live Nation folks to get to you there. And
Yes.
my email address is simple. It's randy@boomerocity.com. But a
Perfect.
written version of this interview will go into Everything Knoxville magazine. And
Great.
so we'll feature you there in the pages. And then, of course, the full version of this will be on the YouTube channel, podcast, and on my
Yeah.
website. So
Amazing. Amazing.
Look forward to meeting you in person and shaking your hand and watching some
Yes.
great music on stage.
Let's do it. Thank you so much, Randy. This has been
All
amazing.
right. It's been a blast for me too. Take care, Treston. Stay safe and healthy, okay?
All right, you as well. See you soon.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This has been another fun-filled episode of Boomerocity with your host and producer, Randy Patterson. The theme song is Roll the Dice and is recorded and used by permission from Quinton Hope. Quinton is spelled Quinten, and Hope is Hope. And you can find out more about Quinton at quintonhope.com. Post-production is done by Cardinal Sins Productions. The Boomerocity name, logo, and content is copyright protected. Segments may only be used with written permission by Boomerocity and or its assignees. Inquiries should be directed to input@boomerocity.com. Copyright 2025.